Hey everybody,
Hi.
coming to you live on a Monday evening from Las Vegas. It's Eric and Shannon Miller.
Hello.
Hi.
Hope everybody's having a wonderful, you said Monday. It's Monday.
It's Monday. Hope everyone's week is off to a good start.
Yeah.
Everyone loves Mondays.
I really don't remember what day it is ever.
Yeah.
So we're just going to wait a minute or two just to let some people come on because we didn't announce that we were going live. We had a training call but there's a situation, an experience that we had this weekend where it's definitely not rainbows and unicorns, as I put in the tag.
Yeah.
It's not a pretty picture, but we had a lot of takeaways from it. We felt like it was really important to share.
Hi, Bill.
What we experienced.
Yeah. So
Hi,
this is
Bill.
a little bit of a disclaimer.
Jen.
This is
A little bit of a disclaimer.
A lot heavier of a conversation than we typically bring on.
Yeah.
But again, it was something that was very it was serious and had a big impact on us, and from it there were takeaways we wanted to share.
Definite takeaways. So when you come on, please say hello.
Hi, Jennifer.
Hi, Jen. Nice to see you.
Bill, thank you for joining us.
Bill, you're always on it, man.
Hi,
Thank
Heather.
you.
Thank you for joining us.
Hi, Heather. Toronto. That's awesome. Ooh, I have a thing with the weather, apparently. That sounds really cool.
It just sounds cold.
It just sounds cold. You just said Canada, and that's it. I'm like, oh, it's cold. I know.
Yeah.
Desert people.
Yeah, we are.
So we should probably jump into it.
Yeah.
Hi, Matthew. I'm going to be calling you, by the way. I got your message. I swear I'm not ignoring you. He did. It's good. I'll tell you. So.
Hi, Toby.
Hi, Toby. Hello. So should we jump in?
Sure.
Okay. All right. So, our disclaimer, this is not going to be that super soft. It's a little.
This might be difficult for some people.
Yeah, it might actually be hard for some people to hear.
Just a bit of a disclaimer here.
Yeah.
Hi, Frankie.
So, hi, Frankie.
Thanks for joining, buddy.
Thank you. So we kind of want to paint a picture so that you guys understand and you can visualize what we went through. And we want to talk about, obviously there's some direct perceptions in the situation, but we want to talk about kind of life takeaways and how we view that in other ways. And so Saturday, or was it Friday night?
It was Friday night.
We drove out to California. And we were going out there. Saturday we had an event. And we were really excited about it. It was we're having a great drive, and we were getting pretty close to where we were staying. And like California usually does, all of a sudden there's this massive traffic, and the freeway comes to a halt. And we're this four lanes, I think.
It was late too. It was probably 10:30 at night.
Yeah, 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. So we're far over. We're second to the right lane. And there's semis, and so you can't really see what's going on, but obviously there's something happening because there's massive traffic in the middle of the night. So I was in the driver's seat, and we're having conversation, and we're just kind of moseying, and we notice the trucks in front of us are getting over, and so obviously there's an accident that has gone on. And I can already feel it. So if I get emotional on this call, I'm not apologizing because it was emotional.
Yeah.
So we see the trucks getting over, and I said, oh, obviously, there was an accident that's going on. So we start slowly getting over. It closes off all the way to just the fast lane. So the whole freeway is obviously blocked off. So we get up, and as we get over, I start getting over, I notice we start seeing parts of cars. And as we get closer to that, we start seeing vehicles. And there's two vehicles pretty much facing each other, but spaced apart. There's glass everywhere. There's bumpers. There's it's pretty much a disaster on this freeway. And I looked at Eric and I said, oh my God. There's no police here. Hey, there's nobody here. There's no police. There's no ambulance. There's no nothing. There's nobody here. And all the cars are just slowly creeping by. And we get a little bit closer, and we start to pass one of the vehicles, and it's literally right next to our lane. Okay, everything is busted on this car. The front end is completely crushed in. The windows are all broken. Like, the cars are smoking. We can see another vehicle on the other side. Everything is busted. We see two people in the car over that is further over near the wall. And then we start passing this car on our right, and you could clearly see a driver slumped over. He's completely unconscious, slumped over in the seat. We have a passenger who's sitting next to him, and there's no police. There's no ambulance. There's no nothing. And all we see is one vehicle of people standing, and they're clearly like making phone calls. And there was this moment where it wasn't even a thought. I just said, there's nobody here. Like, we have to stop. We have to stop. There's nobody here. And so we pulled over the car. Everybody is driving past. They just keep going. So we pull over the car. We get out. Do you like?
Sure.
Yeah.
So we both started approaching the vehicles. We first went over to there's one vehicle facing the wrong direction, and there were two elderly
We kind of
people.
split. Like, he
Right.
went to one, I went to the other.
So there were two elderly people in one of the vehicles. They were awake, and they were in pain, and they were very, very afraid.
Like, we had the male was the driver,
Pinned.
and he's completely pinned against the steering wheel. Like, completely pinned, you guys. And then the wife is in the passenger seat. And mind you, this car is smoking. It's smoking. It's still on. And I'm asking them, are you guys okay? Where does it hurt? And the wife was talking to me, but it was like this blank stare.
She's petrified.
And she's like, I don't know what happened. They were going the wrong way on the freeway. I don't know, and so I'm like, it's okay, and I'm talking her through it. And, Eric yells, somebody's got to turn this car off. And so, I asked, like, can you reach and can you turn it off? Because we were afraid the car was going to catch on fire. So he shuts the car off. Well, Eric and I kind of switch, and I'm like, check on these people. So he checks on them. I go to the other car.
So I go over to the other vehicle, and the passenger he was just staring forward, but I screamed, are you okay? And he looked at me blankly, sweating, and he said, yeah. So I go around to the driver's side, which is completely demolished, window shattered, and the driver is slumped over the door.
Completely, like, in our eyes, unconscious,
Right.
or
I don't know.
worse.
So,
we don't know.
So I'm tapping him, and I'm yelling, and I'm trying to get him to respond, and he's not. So
and cars are passing.
Right. So a moment later, an off-duty EMT pulled up, and he sprung to action again. I'm a physician, but I don't deal with this. So he sprung to action. He went over to the driver who was. He asked, "Is anyone hurt?" I said, "There's an unresponsive driver." He went over. He immediately said to me that there's no pulse. We are dragging this guy out of the car.
Right. So while they're doing that, I go over to the other vehicle, and I'm basically just kind of comforting these people because the wife is petrified. The husband's pinned and he's moaning and obviously in pain. This is a huge impact, huge. And so I'm asking her, where does it hurt? And she's telling me, and she's telling me, I feel like I'm going to throw up. And, I'm like, it's okay. Just take, focus on your breathing. You're going to get through this. And I'm pointing out, like, you see, there's the helicopter up there. You see the lights, like they're coming. They're going to help you. Just try to stay calm and breathe through it.
Right.
And while I'm talking them through this, Eric and this EMT are pulling this man out of the car.
So we removed the passenger. He was absolutely inebriated beyond comprehension.
Yeah, he is gone. He's completely drunk.
Completely drunk. So someone plastic tied him and moved him to the side of the road. Yeah. So we pulled his body out of the car and immediately realized that he had no pulse. So we started to do CPR in the middle of the road, and it was unfortunately fairly obvious off the bat that he was gone. So he was dead.
So, and I don't know if any of you have witnessed CPR in real life.
So it was
but they just kept driving. Everybody just kept driving
and filming
it.
So it was again, it was an experience obviously we didn't anticipate. And that driver. So the story was, unfortunately, this drunk driver went somehow the wrong way on the 215 in California. We know
how. He was drunk.
Right, and hit this elderly couple head on and lost his life. So the first thing that came to my mind, and again, there are takeaways we wanted to talk about, and again, they're they parallel, obviously not to this degree, but the first thing that came to my mind was choice and consequence. So, and it got me I just kept thinking choices, like everything in life, everything has a choice. There's a choice and there's a consequence. Sometimes these consequences are small, sometimes they're positive, sometimes they're negative, sometimes they're devastating.
And for this man, the consequence was death. His passenger obviously going to jail, and unfortunately there was 2 other people that had a huge impact and are going to have a very long road to recovery because of somebody else's choice. And and they never had an opportunity to even like something like that happens so fast you can't recognize it.
Right.
But we also look at the choices like that we had in that situation. We were amongst all of those other drivers. And we're not, this isn't like a yoo-hoo, look what we did. That's not what this is about. We had a choice to either keep going or to stop and to take action. And we decided to take action because it was in my mind, I've never been in that situation. Eric doesn't work. I haven't either. Eric doesn't work in that.
I didn't get out because I'm a doctor. I got out because I'm a person.
Right.
And because there was no one there, and someone had, someone either made a choice to do something or someone made a choice not to.
Right.
So.
And in the moment, it wasn't for us as people, as human beings. It wasn't a question. It was I regardless of what we see, what we experience, it doesn't matter because this is not about us. This is not about us. And, we look at that and you kind of switch that into looking at life in general. And we have a choice whether or not we're willing and open to make an impact on this world, and we look at those situations where all those drivers are going past. What are you afraid of? In life, you're driving past your opportunities. What are you afraid of? Are you afraid of what you might see? Is it scary that maybe you'll see something you don't like? And for me, I didn't like what I saw, but there was no question in my mind whether or not I should have been there. And it's the same thing as showing up for other people with what we do. It's a choice for us. And sometimes I don't like what I see. Sometimes I don't like what I see with myself, but that reflection is what helps me grow.
Right. So it just got us really thinking, and especially the people rolling by videotaping. And obviously there's a whole, that's a whole discussion as to where the compassion in our society lies and where people's sensitivities lie. That's a whole different thing. But there are parallels that we wanted to just discuss, and it just, obviously one of them is taking action and realizing that things you do in life, again, they might be uncomfortable and it can't be about you. So many people were driving by maybe thinking, gosh, what can I do? I don't know what to do. Like, even if you got out and held that old woman's hand, even if you stood there and just said, someone's coming, like, you're going to be okay, just small acts. But I think too many people internalize thinking, what is it going to do to me? What is it going to do? What is this going to do for me?
Well, and even when we're talking about, in life and showing up in life and maybe taking an opportunity that's being presented to you to change your life for the better. But number one, like we talked about, maybe being too afraid of what you're going to see. Or what if I show up and I'm not big enough or important enough, or I don't bring enough to the table? Okay, but what if you do? If you take your ego out, because we all have one, you take your ego out of it and put it into, what can I do for others and servicing others? And that's like, even with our business, that's what we do. Yeah, you can make so much more of an impact than you ever realize if you just get past your ego and just get past, maybe it is a little scary. Maybe I'll have some things I'm going to have to learn and I'm going to have to grow from. But isn't it worth it? Isn't it worth it to make an impact on somebody's life? Just to stand there and to say, it's okay. Just keep breathing. It's okay. Somebody's coming to help you. Right. I'm not the expert here, but somebody's coming and I'm going to stay until that person gets here.
Little gestures can comfort people. We're all connected and we can all impact each other. And again, small gestures and anything.
Right. you know, and I think for me, another thing is, and it's not just this situation. We're not talking about like, listen, the next car accident that happens, like pull over. That's not what we're saying. But when you look at it and you take this into life in general and your business or whatever it may be, when you impact other people, it does bring you up too. It helps build you, you know, and so the more that you do that, number one, you're building other people, but it helps you. Like you're going to grow as a person. And then next time you show up with more to offer. Right. And then you do that. And then the next time you show up with even more to offer. That's how you learn and that's how you grow. But if you're not willing to get freaking uncomfortable and to just put yourself in a situation, then you're never going to know. You're just never going to know.
You give of yourself and life will come at you, you know, multiple fold. And that's not why you do things. You don't do things for what you receive, but it all starts with giving of yourselves in any capacity. You know, the odd thing was about that situation, we literally made a wrong exit.
Oh my God.
About 45 seconds before then.
I've driven this way to California so many I've lived in Vegas since 92. Like I've been back and forth to California so many times, and I got off on the wrong exit and ended up on the wrong freeway, went up about a mile, had to get off, get back on, and then come back around. Well, within that amount of time, that accident had happened. And, you know, I don't look at it as that could have been us. I look at it as we were supposed to drive by that accident.
Right.
You guys, your opportunities aren't a coincidence.
And I don't know why. Again, unfortunately, I think Shannon was a great comfort to that woman, and that may very well be why we were there. I mean, unfortunately, I couldn't help, you know, get that person's life back, you know, not for lack of trying. But so I'm not sure why, or unless it was just to share and to share this with people. But for whatever reason, I agree. We were there for a reason. I don't know why we were put in that situation, but we were there. Yeah. So again,
this isn't about like we're the ones that stop. That's not what this is, you guys. Right. Like we really truly, like we had takeaways from that, you know, and we even discussed it afterwards, and I told Eric, I was like, I kind of always imagined if that situation came up that I would have like this adrenaline rush and it would freak me out. And I just felt completely calm, cool, collected the entire time. Matter of fact, I don't think it really hit either one of us until the next night. Yeah. You know, so what if you have that thing that comes up in your life and you're driving past it? What if it's not as terrible or scary as you thought? And matter of fact, it changes everything for you. Yeah. What if? Nothing is a coincidence, you guys.
I agree, Heather. Heather said nothing happens. Everything happens for a reason. Right. There are literally no coincidences.
Nothing happens to us.
It's just how we recognize these things.
Right. And what action we take. Yeah. It's action. You have to choose to take action. Yeah. Like stop sitting back in your life. Matter of fact, don't be a passenger and let somebody else drive your life. You know, take action. Be in the driver's seat. Pull over and turn on the emergencies when you see that opportunity knocking, and just jump on it. Right. What's the worst that can happen? Yeah. So yeah, that was not the normal, obviously, share that we would have.
But yeah, but we like to share. Again, this was impactful in our lives. I mean, it's you know, still a little bit is. It's a hard thing to shake. But yeah. we wanted to share it, and obviously we're talking about parallels, but you know, it does also bring up that life is short and life is fragile. So everybody be safe and you know, hold your loved ones, and we want to thank everyone for joining us.
Yes, thank you so much for listening.
Found some value. We always love hearing from you guys, and we appreciate you tuning in.
Love you guys.
Have a great night.
Bye.
All right.